Today I'm going to show you how to really teach your dog what the word down means. Now you may notice that with your dog they do pretty well with going into the down position if you point to the ground, but if you just say the word down, they may not understand it. I'll show you a quick example with Chumley here. Okay. So with Chumley, if I point to the ground and say down, he understands it. Okay, so he has a good understanding of what that hand signal means. And a lot of owners often pair the word down with that hand signal, like this, down. And a lot of times we assume that the dog understands what the word down means because they're going into that down position. But in reality, they don't have an understanding of the word, they're just following the hand signal. For instance, Chumley, down. So you can see he has no idea what that means, right? He only knows that if I point to the ground, that means down. So I'm going to show you how to separate the hand signal and the verbal command so that you can begin teaching your dog to go into the down when you only say the word without the hand signal. Once you're able to do this, it really opens up a lot of new training avenues that you can do with your dog as far as the down command goes. For instance, your dog doesn't have to be looking at you once they understand what the word means. So let's get started. All right, so now we are going to be working on teaching Chumley what down means. I have some food rewards here in my hand, and what I'm going to go ahead and get him started doing is going straight to the ground and receiving the food treat. Okay. And we do that a few times. Straight to the ground, and then release the food treat. Notice that I'm not even saying the word down at this point. It's completely irrelevant. Now, what I'm slowly going to start to do is I'm going to have the food in this hand. I'm going to start to go to the ground, but I'm going to slowly start to pull it away at the same time. Okay, it's a little tricky, but I'm going to show you how this works. So we go to the ground, pull it away, good. So it's that pullback motion that slowly teaches the dog that in reality, they need to move away from the food in order to receive the food. Because up until now, the dog has usually been following the food to the ground. All right, so let's do that again. So don't want him to move toward it. Good. And I am kind of pushing his nose a little bit sometimes. See how I pull it away? Good. And then when they do go into that down, I do say the word good, and then I feed.
Practice making an up and down motion with your hand so that your dog learns to go into the down position without you having to place the food next to the dog's mouth. This helps the dog learn to go into the down position without you having to move your hand all the way to the ground. This concept usually takes several training sessions before your dog begins to understand that they need to move into the down position while the food reward is above their head rather than below it.
Good. Okay. Now you're going to be doing this a bunch of times, and what the goal is to slowly work your hand from down here to up here. All right? And it'll take some practice, but the more you do it, you'll start to get the hang of it, and your dog will start to understand what you want them to do. So notice that kind of this down and back up again. And I want the dog to, so if they move toward it, I just back them away. And you can let them think through it. Good.
Repeat the up and down motion with your hand for several short training sessions until your dog is going into the down position quickly with just a flick of the wrist. I followed this lesson up with 2 additional 5-minute training sessions over the next 2 days, with the goal being to transition my hand motion higher and higher above the dog's head. This next clip is day 4.
This is currently the 4th training session with Chumley. And I think I am ready now to go ahead and add in the verbal down command. This concept usually takes multiple training sessions. It's not something that you can generally do in 4 to 5 minutes. So I did want to break the video up because I did want to show you how the whole process works from the beginning. So up until now, you have been working on doing this little flick of the wrist and feeding the dog. And you can see Chumley's now starting to go down really nicely. Now we're going to continue to advance it. So now I'm just doing just a flick of the wrist up high. So watch how this works. Good. All right, so I'm not going all the way down to the ground with the food. See that again? Food in the right hand, flick of the wrist. Good. Okay, once your dog is doing that, now you are ready to start to add in the verbal command down. And watch how this works. So we say the dog up, we say the verbal command, and then I'm going to pause, and then I'm going to follow with that little flick of the wrist. Down. Good. Try not to drop it. Down. Good. So there's a sequence there. And when you say the word down, you want to keep your body nice and still. Down. Good. Okay. So make sure that you are not, a lot of people have the tendency to go down, right? But we don't want that to be the cue. We don't want bending over or the hands signal to be the cue. We want the dog to understand just to pick out the word down. Dogs are really good at reading body language and understanding tone inflection, but not very good at understanding a verbal language. But they can learn it. Now what we do, I'm going to say the word down, and then I'm going to pause, and whereas before I was giving that flick of the wrist, I'm going to hold off on that. So watch how this works. We're going to see if Chumley can guess it. Down. Good. Very nice. And I didn't want to wait till his elbows hit the ground. Do that again. Down. Good. And that's it. So now Chumley understands the hand signal for the down command, which can be that, and I can feed that. And now he also understands the verbal command. See that? Down. Good. So go ahead and try with your dog. See if you can have your dog go into that down position without following with the hand signal or giving the hand signal or bending over. Once your dog can respond to this verbal command down, now you can start to really advance your down. So you can start to have your dog lay down at a greater distance away from you, or you can have your dog lay down when the dog is not looking at you, because now they understand the verbal command. All right, that's it for this lesson. I will see you in another one.